The pathway is broken and the signs are unclear. And I don't know the reason why you brought me here. But just because you love me the way that you do, I'm gonna go through the valley if you want me to. It may not be the way I would have chosen, that you'd lead me through a world that's not my home. But you never said it would be easy. You never said I'd go alone. I'm having difficulty singing lately. Had a bad cold in December and it's lingering some still. Feeling much better, but my voice is full of. Anyways, I haven't felt much like writing. I try to write, maybe write to people individually, but writing an update and sending it out to my my email buddies, my beloved friends and family, haven't really felt much up for it. And even as I just sang this song, I'm thinking I'm not there right now, but it's a place that I've been and I can go many times where I feel like I'm walking through a valley and just sludging and trudging. But the joy of the Lord is my strength, and He is so faithful to have brought me to this place. And my path is getting clear. I sense and I'm seeing things and I'm experiencing and just being here and being more and more focused on Christ, more and more seeking after what God would have for me versus what I have thought at times I wanted, missing people uh, from back in Minnesota and people that I've met around the world, yet knowing that this is where I'm to be right now. I'm having a hard time being succinct. I thought that I could just do a video log and update people on what's going on, but let me see if I can do this. Basically, I'm believing that something that's always been on my heart is a desire that children would receive all they need in childhood. And that's been a prayer of mine for years, that children would have the right to protection and safety and to be born into a home where they're wanted and they belong and they receive nurturing and affection and they receive clean water and they receive food and clothing and warmth and cuddling and encouragement and discipline, um, punishment for for consequences, yes, but not abuse and not neglect. And anyways, so I'm out here and I'm in. I feel like I've been in transition for years, trying to figure out what the Lord would have me to do outside of uh, mortgage banking, outside of being a mom to my two precious children, outside of being a friend and being in the church, being in all of that, yet being what God would have me to be. Um, and it's clear that it has to do with children, children's rights. Um, and like I said, I feel like I've been in transition. And as I'm running into foster children, adults who have been through the foster system. Children in need today that are in foster care, and they're sent to daycare centers so that the foster parents can have a respite. And these children are just constantly in transition, constantly exposed to new people, constantly having to adjust and adapt to new situations. And it kind of feels like what I've been going through for a lot of years. Yet some of it was by my choice, and certainly because I'm an adult, I have the ability to do that more readily than little ones. Although they say little ones are just like sponges and they can adjust and adapt very easily. But what are we doing to them by doing that? How are we preparing them for life? That they're always gonna they can't trust anybody. Um, that people get tired of them if they misbehave, they're not wanted. These are the stories that I'm hearing. These are the experiences that I'm seeing. And it can even happen in a home where children are a part of the family. My own example, I can think of being one of 10 children and not knowing what was going on half the time. Um, just feeling like an outsider in my own home. And I know some of my siblings, maybe all of them, have felt that way at times. Because honestly, my parents weren't prepared to be the parents of 10 children. Um, and were they even prepared to be the parents of one? I won't even speculate. But what I'm seeing is there are so many adults that are having children. I'm not speaking anything other people don't know, but there are so many adults having children that don't know how to parent, and they may or may not have been parented themselves. They didn't receive um, full instruction in their growing up years. So, anyways, all this to say that I have begun taking some training at the YWCA in Vancouver, Washington here. That my first class was last night, just an introduction, and I'm just excited by the community that's there, and that I'm going to continue in the training, get my 30 hours of training. I might not be able to finish it this winter 6-week thing, and if I can't attend some of the training due to my work schedule or the weather, um, then I will finish in the spring. And one day, I am believing that I will be assigned to a child or a family of children, and that I can become a voice for those children in the court system to ensure that they are being heard. And and I will be able to observe and gather information from all the sources of the parents and the children and all the organizations that they're involved in, and make a recommendation for where that child should be. Because so many times, um, it sounds like the court system is just so busy with prosecuting and defending the parents that the children's needs and the children's rights have been sometimes overlooked. So excited about being a part of this and seeing where else this might lead. Because as I'm working in daycare, I'm seeing this is where I'm seeing some of the children in families where they might be in foster care one day because of some of the things that I'm seeing. So maybe there's a way that I can influence even in the daycare. I don't know. What I do know is that I can pray, and I do know that I'm required to be more Christ-like and more real and gentle and kind, forgiving and loving and accepting of the Lord's plan in all of this. So uh, I submit this to you and ask that you would pray for me as I continue on this journey to figure out what the Lord has for me here. Thanks. Love ya.